All right, welcome to Glam and Guts. I am Gabby Tuft, licensed sports nutritionist. I do have a bachelor's of science degree, and I've coached over 2,300 people successfully to their goal in the last, 15 years. Founder of Glow and do about 80 million views every month between TikTok and Instagram. My lovely cohort here, Mickey Fitzpatrick, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mickey. I am in a makeup, hair, fashion extraordinaire, darling.
You're being so, humble.
I think I'm in my humble phase of my life.
Why don't you tell everybody that you studied under Scott Barnes, who's Jennifer Lopez's makeup artist, and that you're the lead makeup artist for AEW. You were also a lead back at WWE.
For a decade.
Good Lord.
God helped create some of the biggest looks in...
Push that closer, because I know you like to eat sticks, but they want to hear
you. In the professional wrestling industry, including Total Divas, and that, I feel like, was what segued...
Yeah, you were around for Total Divas.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. That's what started it.
Huh?
That's what started it.
The whole
wrestling
journey in wrestling?
Yeah.
Was that when you got hired? Was for Total Divas? Divas?
Yeah. They had Saudi.
Okay.
So from working with Natty and being so close with
For those that don't know, Natty is Natalia Neidhart.
And TJ Wilson, we love him to death. That helped open the doors to what we're doing today.
I just sent TJ a text this morning.
Yes, about...
So I got to send this to our video editor, but Mickey likes to drink the cold brew. When we get our Starbucks in the morning, he likes to drink the cold brew, but TJ called him a pussy. He's like, you need to get the nitro. So I sent him a picture of Mickey drinking the cold brew, and I was like, such a puss.
Yeah. I remember every morning I would go to do Natty early in the morning. TJ would be still asleep. And I would always prepare myself for the wild kingdom that is Glam. And I always...
Oh, I thought you were talking about all the cats that Natty has.
No. Even though that is a kingdom.
They have so many cats.
They do. And you know what? All of them have such a unique personality.
I love it.
They are, and it's so crazy because now I've been through generations of cats with Natty.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, I would come over and I would always have the infamous nitro. And I was always so afraid of it. I'm like,
you were giving it to Natty or to TJ?
To TJ.
To TJ? Oh my God.
I always brought TJ his nitro cold brew so that he could start his day. And, he would wake up, TJ, brought you your drink.
And for anyone that doesn't know, TJ is Tyson Kidd, by the way. So.
And here I am giving the government version of the...
I love it.
Yeah,
So we just dove right in. But to give everybody a little context, this is our unfiltered version of us. Mickey and I met, early in my transition. I think you came on a live with me, right? If I remember correctly, on Instagram?
So, yes.
How did that happen?
But I discovered you from our good gal pal, Renee Paquette.
That's right. Oh, I love Renee to death. She's such a sweetheart.
So she interviewed you and you touched me. And I was like,
whoa, buddy, hang on.
In all of the right places.
Back the hay truck up.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of touching these days.
I
sounds so dirty.
I just, we are a little dirty.
I had something recently. But anyway, why are you stroking the microphone?
Got me excited. Felt this thing needed to be a little more pointed towards me.
So Renee somehow got us introduced.
Yes.
And I remember you coming on an Instagram live with me, and we just had a great connection. It was just from day one, from the moment we started talking, it just felt like we were family.
And I think that's what touched me so much was...
Back to the touching thing.
Yeah. I just absolutely, the way you and Renee laughed and enjoyed one another, and I just saw, and first of all, Renee is the coolest person in a room anywhere she goes. Renee, not only is she so beautiful and so fashion forward, she really just knows a lot about everything. And she is just got such a big heart.
Aww.
And the way you guys, the banter and just the having a good time, there was so much you touched on, and you were heavy on I don't know what I'm doing kind of thing.
I still don't know what I'm doing.
But I was like, oh, that girl needs
I
a
have
friend.
no clue. Yes, I did need a friend. I needed a friend that knew what they were doing and to kind of help out. So I'm going to try to uncross my legs without completely destroying this
honey,
microphone.
spread them right
and
open.
Showing everybody my
Give them
bits.
the cookies.
I don't know what you call it. They're not. I don't. It's not kitty. It's something else. But anyway,
purr.
So Mickey and I hit it off very well as far as like friends are concerned, and we have been friends now for a good 5, almost 6 years, right?
Yeah.
God, it's been so long. Excuse me. I have vocal cord dysfunction, so sometimes I cough a lot, especially when I drink coffee. And by the way, I'm not paid or sponsored by these guys. I just like my skinny vanilla latte. And so we've had so many amazing conversations. We just thought, where's the goddamn microphone on half the shit that we talk about? And that's what we're doing. We literally were just like, we need a fucking microphone in front of us. We need to go unfiltered. And we need to just say what's on our goddamn minds. And we think people will absolutely chew it up. And I'm sure you guys are going to momentarily.
Absolutely.
As we get into talking about everything from, our own journeys to sex life that I don't talk about on TikTok. These are the things I can't talk about on TikTok and Instagram. This is the shit that I cannot talk about.
You'll get that thing you got a lot of.
The violation?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I got like 3 of them today on a live. And I'm like, half the time I get it for nudity. I'm fully covered like this. Yeah, they're like, or I'll have a, because I had open heart surgery in 2019, in July of 2019. So they severed my pec muscles when they went through. And if you talk to any woman who's had open heart surgery, they got like side boobs. It's like, even my mom feels this way. She hates it. But like, your boobie's going to spread out down here. And so I have a lot of chest area. And then eventually you get down to, to the boobs.
Yeah.
The bobas. The bobas. But eventually you get there, and but when you get there, there's just a lot of open chest. And if I wear like a crop top or something that's like a little low, even though I'm not showing cleavage, TikTok's like, you're showing nudity, you're banned. Or you get a 7-day. They'll ban me for like 3 or 7 days at a time. I'm like, are you serious? But this is the stuff that I cannot talk about on TikTok. So you're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear me unfiltered. I will talk about my sex life. Mickey's gonna definitely talk about his sex life
or the lack of it. I don't know.
Well, that's kind of goes for both of us in that case. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a whole lot. I sold a lot of my stories to Bunny when I was on her podcast. So I've had a couple of recents that I think we'll tell eventually, but we'll talk about business. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about our journeys. And what's going to happen is everything that we are discussing, y'all are going to glean from it. When you listen to these podcasts, we're going to give you a ton of insight on what we go through, and we feel like we have a connection with every one of you. And so cheers to that. So
yeah, and I think what's important, and especially in the wake of our current world and how divided we are, is that the thing that I love most about you is how you move with love and such grace. And that was what drew me to you in that interview. And I think it's important that we have opinions and that we don't always think alike as humans. But importantly, I think it's very vital that we know that it's done with love. So although we may have shared opinions, religious, you and I are very different in those fields.
We are polar opposites when it comes to religion. But we still love each other.
And that is what I think Glam and Guts is all about. And I think that we're going to enjoy this journey telling these stories. And I'm hoping that so many others will feel like they're safe in our space.
We want everyone to feel safe here. And just know, you may not agree with our opinions. You may not agree with my opinion or Mickey's at some point along the line, but it's just an opinion. And part of being an adult and a reasonable adult is being able to talk about that. So hang on for the fucking ride of your life. Here we go. As I sip my Starbies that you guys are
on
dying
while you
for me to
reverse
boycott.
cowgirl.
I don't even know what that is. I'm such a prude. I'm like, what's reverse cowgirl?
I mean, are we muff diving right now? Are we going right into it with love and grace?
How do you muff dive with love and grace, Mickey?
I think
is that just like the gentle, like, let me spread you apart slowly and just, put on my snorkel gear and then I'll get in there and
then spit on it and then shove it in there.
There we go.
Yeah. I think
Marcus did that. He was just yeah. I know we filmed because some of these episodes out of order. So I think in one of the episodes I was telling I hadn't had an encounter in a while, but we circled back. I had an encounter this week and yeah, he spit all over it.
And you know what? I'm proud. I'm so proud. And I love that I got the first call.
Oh, you
And
were the first. You were the first.
You're like, I'm just laying here.
Oh, I said his name. Shh.
I didn't hear a thing.
Oh man, Stavros, bleep that out. Yeah, no, he's he's been a fuck buddy for a while, and we had a good. I think it was March of this year or last year when I just ghosted him. And I think I talk about this in another episode because I think we've already filmed the other 2 episodes. But yeah, and I kind of talked to Priscilla about it the other day, my ex. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'm needing something. And then literally like the universe heard me. He texted me hours later and he's like, hey, Ma, what you doing Friday? He goes, you? I'm like, all right, see you then.
You know what?
Mhm.
Those moments are important. And I'm glad you dove throat first.
I did.
I am. You know
He's
what?
got a big old chocolate.
Oh.
It's like, hi, microphone.
God, makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Well, it's so interesting because him and I used to fuck around a while ago, earlier in my transition, and I was very shy. Like, he was the first guy that actually treated me like the way I wanted to be treated. He was gentle, but like aggressive, and he was, in control, and he's like very shredded and just like bodybuilder. I'm like, okay, and he's handsome as fuck. But this time, when he comes over, I'm a whole new me. I've started multiple companies and I'm deep down in my journey. I know my worth. I made a return to wrestling. It's like, all right, this bitch knows who she is now. And so now when he came over, he was like a little more timid. And I was kind of like aggressive. I could just kind of see him just being very kind of chill and calm until I took a shower and then let him unwrap the towel off me. And then he took over. But it was much different. I was just like, yes, daddy.
You know what? It's so funny because we've had multiple conversations about this gentleman friend.
The conversations.
And
you and I have talked a lot about this boy.
Come a long way.
Oh, goodness sakes, Mickey.
But the thing is we have shared journey conversations. I mean, I remember when we went to, what was it, Pennsylvania?
Oh, for that conference.
Correct.
Oh, good Lord.
And remember the conversations we had in that bed that night and like...
We should explain that so that people don't think that you and me are fucking.
They already do, honey.
I know. I mean, not that I give 2 shits what anybody thinks of me, but, Mickey and I are good friends and...
We're not scissor sisters.
Yeah, we don't, yeah, we don't sword fight. But let me make sure my short term showing here. Yeah, Pennsylvania. So I was asked to be a keynote speaker at the largest transgender conference in the States. It was last year, right? Or 2 years ago?
I think almost 2 years.
It was the Keystone Conference.
Yeah.
It was the Keystone Conference in Pennsylvania. And we had some crazy conversations. And I was really was hesitant to go to this thing at first. And I think as part of my journey, it's funny, I didn't plan on talking about this. And so this whole conversation, because I don't, we know what I am. We know what I am. And I try not to brag about it in any way. Like, I don't wave a trans flag, like, oh, hi, I'm trans. It's like, I just try to integrate, right? And so going to an all transgender conference and being their keynote speaker, it really digs up some demons because you get a certain way in your transition and you don't, I don't know, you don't want to look back so much. I've never been ashamed of my past. I know where I came from. But today I was talking to you about when you were doing my makeup. Like, Mickey, he glams me. He's great. And you're doing my makeup. I'm like, God, I had this flashback to my very first TV interview when I came out. And I was just a dude in a $20 Amazon wig. And some rando chick I found on Thumbtack was glamming me. And I'm like, do you know how to do trans makeup? She's like, yeah. And here I am. And I looked at that. I just had this flashback of the B-roll. And I'm like, I'm just a dude in a wig, and that's what I had to go revisit. When I went to that Keystone Conference, I poured my heart out to you because I was really struggling. The first night we got there, we went down to the bar, and here are all these trans women. Mm-hmm. And just some cross-dressers. And I was just like, I really had a panic moment because I had to go face my fucking demons about where I came from and what I really am, And by the end of the time we were there, Mickey was so great. You were so just open. I felt safe to talk to you about everything because you don't want to talk to people about this stuff. You don't want to say like, look, I don't want to be around these people because they remind me of who I used to be, and I hated who I was during that time. I was so cringe. I didn't know which way I was fucking up. I wanted to commit suicide at many points along my journey. I'm great now. I feel very balanced. I have a brand new successful business we'll talk about soon. But back then, holy shit, like that was a rough part of my life. And I think my brain just compartmentalized it.
Right.
And like crunched it up. Like, the little trash compactors? And then in the cartoons, it like compacts the trash and out comes this little tiny cube at the end. And you're like, oh, okay, there it is. I think that's what happened during those times. But you and I sat on that bed in the hotel room, which, by the way, it was great. It was all expenses paid. We ate all the room service.
And we cried a little bit.
We cried a lot after I ate all the room service. There was a lot of crying. And you're just such a safe space for me. And you let me talk about how I was feeling. And I almost thought I couldn't do the speech.
I remember.
I didn't think I could go back down and see all those women again. It was so weird. I don't freak out. I've never turned away from a speech in front of people. I've spoken in front of thousands of people many times. And there were about 1,000 people there. And you got me through that.
Well, I think it's important to know, too, at that time, we were all going through something. I remember coming to you from WWE. I had like traveled in from a show, I think is what it was.
Yeah, you changed your travel just so you could meet us in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Right.
And I remember feeling the empathy in the room. Like we were feeling something. We were feeling everyone's energy throughout that hotel.
Before the speech or during?
Before.
Okay.
Like when we got there, because I remember we like went and checked out the room and all of that before, the space you were going to do the speech in before we like went in. And then I remember we went to like Ulta. We went for like a drive or something, like in the Uber. We went somewhere.
We went to Ulta. We had to get some like lip or something, or I don't know.
Something. We went to get something.
Bobby pins. I don't know, whatever it was.
But I remember like getting in the car. I remember us both like kind of going, because it was that heaviness of that space. And I just remember it's like we were set up to be there together in that space, to go through this together. And I just remember being like, Gabbi, this is one of those moments where you're going into a space that may not feel like it did once before, because you're kind of almost coming out of that space. And what I'll say is the word space is the community, the LGBT community. We have had our own experiences within the community. And I think you and I relate a lot because you're almost coming out again, right? As
far as
Gabbi.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I'll use myself as the example, when I came out to my parents, I didn't have to come out. My parents kind of already knew.
Right.
I didn't have this big coming out story. I didn't really relate with many people in the community.
There was no bar mitzvah for your gayness.
No.
It wasn't like, like Mazel, you hop over a big black cock, everything's good.
As a matter of fact, it just hopped in me and I hopped in it.
Cool,
you know what I mean?
All right, sounds great.
I didn't have, my parents were really cool. I didn't have this thing. They didn't care. I had boyfriends in the house. Like I didn't have this thing. And I think what, connecting with you on your situation from that day was you kind of went through some things leading into this.
Oh God, yeah.
I had gone through some things where I was like, I have empathy for these people, but I don't relate.
Right.
And that was, I think, where I was like, this is your opportunity, Mickey, to just be the rock. And not to be confused with the rock bottom, people's eyebrow, jabroni kicking
I thought
rock.
You were going to cook some shit up in my kitchen, honey. I was getting ready to spread these babies for you. These 6'2" gazelle eggs are going to start moving. But we don't do that.
I just wanted to be there for you so badly. And I knew how many lives you were about to change.
Oh, God, thank you.
And
so sweet.
I remember sitting at the table with a bunch of people. I had no idea who they were. And I just wanted to be in that space with you. And I remember getting emotional because you were touching so many lives. And I know what it's like to give like a speech, because like it's almost like everyone's just gone.
Mhm.
And you're in that space talking, and yes, you're walking around familiarizing with everyone that's in the room in the space. But what I don't know if you saw in that moment was people wiping their eyes,
I did.
people clenching at each other, holding each other close, because you were the representation of the future for them. Because you kind of were the finished product. And granted, you were so humble to say, I have so much more work to go. Like, there's so much more to do.
Oh, God,
There's
always
so
more
much.
to
And
do.
like, Glow is a great opportunity too, because that's what you were also saying as a trans woman. Look at the things I've done and get ready for the things I'm going to do. You were a model for so many people in that space, and to be there for you, to let it all out in the room right after. I'm just so proud of you, and I'm still so proud of you. It's just really, really cool. And I know that this podcast, which is a big reason, one of the things we're doing is we're going to change some lives.
Oh, God, yes.
You know, and I'm just so proud of Glow. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
This adventure inspired me a lot, which I'm excited we'll talk to you about in other episodes. But I'm just excited for this transformation. I'm so grateful for Pennsylvania, actually, because we dumped it out.
I think that solidified our friendship. I've never had somebody I could just confide in that way. And when all the emotion came out, you were there. And I think it just created this incredible bond because, you know, you and I had the conversation before I went out. I was able to like go over my keynote, and you really like gave me the support I needed and reminded me that I'm here to change lives. And it was such an experience too, because I had all this stuff planned and I went totally off script. I remember I got off the stage and I started walking around in the audience, and I wanted to see their faces and see how engaged they were. It's one of those things that I do. Like, I have my bullet points, but I want to really engage with the crowd. And so I've had 5 years of stories and then some after that. So I remember walking around and engaging with them and just thinking like, okay, this is the right thing to do. And at this moment, I'm facing my demons. But at that moment, they were understanding there was hope for the future. And we don't have to always fit into a certain box. We don't have to, there's no blueprint for doing what you do, what I do. And it's got nothing to do with being trans or not being trans. And this is where it applies to everybody. There's no fucking blueprint that you have to follow for your life. And actually, I had this conversation with Mia last night when you were at the table with us and we were eating dinner.
Loved that chat.
I think this is a perfect segue into that. And then we'll get to Glow. But Mia came home yesterday. She made the volleyball team. She's on the varsity.
So proud of you, Mia.
I know. She's on the school volleyball team in middle school. She's in 8th grade. She made club. So she's on velocity team now. She had a tryout and we're crossing her fingers. She made the libero position, but she's officially on the team. She's only been playing competitively for like 10 months, but school is so overwhelming for her. And see, this is how I know, because we talked about going back to school, I think on episode 2 or 3, because again, we filmed these out of order. So in the other episodes, you're going to hear us talking about going back to school. But she's been in school and it's overwhelming for her. You know, the teachers don't have any sympathy for her having volleyball games every Wednesday. She gets home late at night, sometimes 8:30, 9 o'clock by the time I get back to the house from an away game. And these teachers, when they give them homework, they're not just giving homework. They're saying it's due at 9 o'clock at night, the same night. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. What are you doing? Now you're into my family time. What's that?
What grade is she in?
She's in 8th grade. And there is zero help from the administration. They're like, well, we do that so they don't rush and do their homework and cram. I'm like, I crammed all through college. I got 4.0 GPA. I got a bachelor's of science degree, and I've run multiple 7-figure companies. I crammed. I did my homework in between classes and in the morning. I got up early. I stayed up late. But like, this whole thing was overwhelming. And she came home yesterday with a headache. And she was dizzy. She'd been staring at her devices at school all day. And I'm like, you need a break. And she was crying. She just was emotional. I'm like, let's have you relax. So we had this conversation with her at night because what a lot of people don't know is that we've signed to a major production company and we are working on an unscripted series. I know.
That's a bomb right there. I don't know that anyone knows that.
Nobody knows that. It's huge.
That's a big one for you all.
There's a lot going on. I can't talk too much about it, but I can say we've signed with one of the largest production companies in the world for a docuseries about my life. And one of the things that we were discussing is, you know, Mia has gained so much popularity on social media because she wanted to be in these videos, and she has gleaned so much from it. You know, the world loves her.
What's there not to love about her, though? She's really such a cool kid. And she's got such a unique imagination, eye for things. She's so well-rounded.
Thanks.
I wonder where she got it from.
Oh, stop. Stop. Don't stop.
You and Priscilla are awesome, though.
Thanks.
So it's like she really got the culture, the understanding. I mean, when I talk to her, I forget that I'm talking to a 13-year-old.
She seems so much older, right?
Yes.
She
it's
seems
wild.
so much older, like in wisdom and maturity and the way she talks
And
to you.
how she listens, too.
Yeah.
It's not like she doesn't talk over you.
No.
She's not like most teenagers.
Yeah, she's very engaged in the and she's funny as shit,
She
too.
has got such a sense
like,
of humor.
where does your wit come from? I'm like, oh, wait a second. But no, she makes me laugh all the time. But that being said, she had career day that was happening. They were making her pick her pathway for high school. And she wants to play pro volleyball. That's like her thing. She wants to be in a band. She already has one. She wants to play pro volleyball. And I'm encouraging her to do this, right? And we're having this conversation where the counselor is telling some kid alongside of her that wants to play sports. She's like, well, you need a career. Sports aren't a career. And she tells this kid, she's like, you can play for a little bit, but the people, they're not going to want to watch sports. They're going to get tired of sports. And then what are you going to do? And I looked at Mia and I'm like, that lady right there, I'm like, you have to remember that unfortunately our teachers in elementary, middle school, and no shade to our teachers. Please don't take any shade. These ones specifically that are telling the kids, don't go play sports. Don't chase that dream. That's a pipe dream. You're never going to make it. Don't go be a singer. Don't waste all your time making videos on social media. Those are the people that failed, that could never get past their glass ceiling, that had the barrier. And I love people that have the heart for teaching, but when you teach because there's nothing else to do, I had to tell me, I said, never disrespect your teachers because I say this. Go to them with humility, but keep in mind, they never made it. And this is not arrogance. This is not me bragging. I'm like, they don't have what we have. I busted my ass for a frickin' 30 years of my life to get where I am now. And if I can save you the heartache, like all those times I cared about what other people thought. I cared so much about what other people thought. I didn't want to make people guilty with the decisions I made. I didn't want to have my parents think bad of me, or I was supposed to spend time with a certain person, or I had a friend that didn't have the skills I had or the energy I had, and I didn't take that chance because I didn't want to make them upset, or I felt like, oh, well, if this person can't come with me and they're not, well, I probably shouldn't, and it's not for me. Those are all missed opportunities you can't get back. And I told her, I said, don't listen to that. You just go pick a path. And if it's not the band path or the sports path, that's all extracurricular. We can use what we have already made for ourselves, and let's go chase that dream. Yeah. And don't. Anytime that happens, just filter that shit out, kid. And you and I will get you there. If you want to be in a band, we're gonna do it. If you want to play pro volleyball, let's do it. I was telling her too, because back to the reality show, Mia's on the fence about it, and she's like, I don't know if I want to be a celebrity. And I go, kid, you don't realize it. You already are.
Yeah, girl, honey.
80 million views a month between TikTok and Instagram. And the highest view rate is when she's in the videos. And we do 3 videos a week. I'm like, kid, the average reality show gets what, like 300,000 people watching it per week. They get 300,000, 400,000 views if they're lucky a week. I'm like, you do millions. And I'm like, you are already celebrity, honey, and you just don't realize it. And the difference in what we do on TikTok and Instagram and, an unscripted docuseries, I said, there's an entire, I said, there's money there, honey. I said, we don't have to work for it. We don't have to hustle. It'll come to you. And if you want to play pro volleyball, I'm like, your NIL score is going to go through the roof. You're going to have so much value to brands because your reach is massive. And her eyes just like lit up.
It was nice to watch the glow, no pun intended, on her face as we shared with her little examples of different celebs and different people who went sort of against what people probably told them, like a Kim Kardashian who was just a closet organizer and then stood out.
What's the Simple Life with Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton, and it's like now she's all her stuff's in everyone's closet.
Yeah, she's a billionaire.
And it's like Mia has the wit, she has the brain, she has the enthusiasm. You can hear it. This morning, the kid was like going on and on about how dizzy she was and how she wasn't feeling good from such a long, couple of days. And I said, you know what, though? Look how you're handling this. We were sitting there this morning before I had any coffee, might I add. You were outside dealing
and
with...
Mia's not even 14 yet. She turns 14 in a month and a half.
No, and the way she speaks, though, with such elegance, and she's got such good taste. Like, she just knows what she wants. She's just having a hard time. And no shade or, whatever, all shade to teachers, because it's like some have lost the oomph, because like my mom wanted to be a teacher.
I love that. Like, if that's your life dream.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Because there are some educators, I can tell you, I can remember the names of my teachers.
That
the
had a
ones
huge
that
impact on you, right?
On
Same.
Because it took a village, baby.
Same.
To get me through. And it's like, I hear this often with like my, nieces and nephews and stuff that are all Mia's age. It's not the same. Schools are not the same. But I can imagine it's hard to be a teacher too, just like it's hard to be a kid and a student, because the change in the culture, the change in everything,
Yeah. And again, I'm not throwing shade to every teacher out there by any means. Like, you guys have our children in your hands, and you're raising the next generation. And for those of you that are incredibly passionate about teaching children, like, thank you for what you do. But to those of you that just took the job because, you had nothing else to do, and now you're, a little son of a bitch to my kid, I'm like, I'm going to drag you by the hair. That sounded like so sounded so harsh. My progesterone's through the roof today, guys. I got to be honest. I have again, on a different episode I talk about this. I'm trying to think how I can say this. I regulate my hormone intake in such a way that it mimics like the actual cycle of a female. And so right now my estrogen's coming back down and my progesterone's rising. And last night was the peak of my progesterone at 300 milligrams a day. So I'm a little fiery today, more than I usually am.
This bitch is on her period.
If trans women got periods, that would be what's happening.
Is this why I'm craving food
for the fucking record? And I think I talk about this on another episode, but Jesus Christ, trans women do not get periods. Fuck, we do not have uteruses. We do not have fallopian tubes. We do not have ovaries. You do not get cramps. If you get cramps and you say you have a period and you're a trans woman, you ate the wrong fucking food and you got gas.
So wait a minute.
Or are you
telling me you can't get pregnant? Oh my God, Gabby, are you telling me you can't have a baby?
One of the many benefits of dating me.
Wait a minute. Are you sure? Because I think the internet has told me different things. I mean, I think I read or saw a few people talk about
insert every bitter person, every bitter trans woman's like, I get my period. I'm like, no, you don't.
Listen, I mean, insert gay men who say the same thing when, but
when I do, because again, my hormones fluctuate on purpose. I can feel the emotional changes for sure.
Absolutely.
Like, I can feel the highs, the emotional lows. And like for the week and a half, 10 days, 12 days that it happens, I'm like, okay, it's a little bit of a roller coaster, but it helps with like feminization and, all sorts of things.
So hair, skin, nails, all
hair
those?
is a big one. And I want to save that for another episode, but I was having problems with my hair, but it was because my hormones were too low. I had menopausal hair at that point. So I had to, I'm in hair rehab, and this is part of it. So
very cool.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of science behind that. I read lots of science.
We're going to talk about that because
let's do it as I sip my.
I really would love to dive into science, but I want to dive into science about a very specific, lovely, beautiful.
He's massaging my protein powder. He's holding it like a baby, like it's going to suck on your nipple.
Speaking of pregnant,
oh my God! You literally gave birth to my protein powder on our pod.
You gave birth to a beautiful product.
Thank you.
And I really want to talk about the science behind this because as you talk about journeys and as we discussed Pennsylvania, and again, you were the future. You were discussing future. You were discussing entrepreneurship. We were discussing what it's like to have businesses and grow and evolve. And this is such a beautiful image of what growth does. So
thank you.
I would like to know a bit about Glow.
Okay. So Glow is my brand. It started with Glow Coaching. And so it stands for Guided Lifestyle Optimization, because when I do coaching, we don't just give you a nutrition plan or a fitness plan and send you on your way, or like, okay, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, great job. We're not just cheerleaders in the background. We focus on the neurological connection and all the things that you're going through. So most people fail at their nutrition plan or their diet because they don't have a strong why. They don't have a reason. If you have the why, the how always happens. And so we dive into the neuroscience behind that and the behavioral patterns. And so my clients and my coaches' clients, when they're successful, they succeed in every part of their life. They become better mothers, brothers, sisters, fathers, friends. They start businesses. They do things that they never thought they could do. They chase their dreams and they make them happen. And so I called my company Guided Lifestyle Optimization. So we're just optimizing everything about your life.
Can you say that with a little ASMR?
Guided Lifestyle Optimization.
Can you do it again?
Guided Lifestyle Optimization.
One more time.
Guided Lifestyle Optimization.
Gabby, it sounds so cool.
Spit on it.
Yeah, it sounds so cool. I'm so happy. I really am so happy for you about it.
Thank you. But this is my labor of love. So for, almost 2 years, I have been reviewing products online. And it started because I walked into, I think it was HEB one day. We were going out to film social media content, and we've got a content calendar that's a mile long. And I asked my assistant, I said, I picked up a protein bar, and I was like, God, these ingredients suck. They're just killing us. And I asked her, I said, hey, will you film this? She goes, okay. And I talked about all the ingredients in here. And I sit and publish medical data all day long. I read and I research, countless hours a week so that my clients have the best possible outcome, and that everything I do is based on science. And what happened when I posted that is it went freaking viral. And suddenly I have thousands of people asking me, Gabby, can you review this? Can you review that? I'm like, holy crap, there's a need here. So for a year and a half, 2 years, I have just been reviewing food products, packaged and processed foods in the store, trying to help people make good choices and never judging, always just trying to put the information out there and let you use, your knowledge and the knowledge I'm giving you to make your own choice. And I live by the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, I'm 100% dialed in. That sounded weird. 80% of the time, I'm 100% dialed in. 80% of the time, my nutrition is perfect. My diet is perfect. My exercise is perfect. 20% of the time, I don't give two shits. I will eat anything. I will eat dirt. I mean, hey.
She will eat a dick.
I will eat a dick. I will definitely send one down my throat from time to time. But what happened is people finally got to the point where they said, Gabby, if you just make a product, we trust you so much, we'll buy whatever you make. And at that moment, I knew that the brand was already there. We just had to develop a product. And I wanted to not just make any fucking product like every other goddamn influencer out there. They're just like, oh, let's make some phone calls. Let's get a place that makes protein or this or that. And we'll just slap our brand on it, make it pretty. And we'll buy my shit because I get views. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to change the entire food industry. I want to rock their goddamn world. Can you hand me the chocolate, please, while we're standing here? And started with this because I will do terrible things for chocolate. That's my tagline. And I started looking around and I go, okay, I've reviewed lots of protein powders and people just suck down protein like it's going out of style. And the ingredients are so fucking toxic. We just keep going back to that, don't we? I pulled up the 3 most popular protein powders. It was Ghost, Premier, and Dimetize. And they are just like the most popular. And I've been talking about these on my lives lately too, where it's like you look at the ingredients. One of the main ingredients in all these protein powders, all these protein bars is this stuff called sucralose. It's Splenda. So there was this incredible 2022 study done. And they followed 103,000 people for 8 years. And these are people that just had normal ingestion amounts of sucralose, which is, again, Splenda. What they found is those people had more heart attacks and lack of oxygen to the brain.
Oh.
They also found in a 2025 study, so this year in March, they found that sucralose actually increases your hunger cravings by 17%.
Woof.
Yeah, exactly. So you're eating a protein bar or you're taking down a protein shake that's sweetened with sucralose like Ghost, Dimetize, and all these other ones. What was the other one? Premier. And it's actually going to create more hunger cravings. And I just looking at this, I'm like, this is an endless cycle. And these other proteins, they got gums, they got xanthan gum in it, and these emulsifiers, we now know it wreaks havoc on the gut microbiota. So we're basically causing gut inflammation. They have artificial flavors in them. Even Premier has acesulfame potassium in it. In that same 2022 study, they linked acesulfame potassium, another artificial sweetener, to high rates of cancer.
Oh,
So this is the garbage that's
everything's just killing us.
And this is it. Literally,
as we're trying to have protein powder.
that is the whole premise of Glow. Everything is slowly sending us to our grave. And it was time for us to make a change. So I did. So I called Rick Bassman, who is the gentleman that's... you love Rick, right?
Love Rick.
He's a former Disney executive. He sold multiple companies to WWE. He had MMA companies. He had wrestling companies. He was a former owner of UPW. It was all acquired by WWE. He's a serial entrepreneur. And I said, Rick, I want to do this and I need help. You've done this before. I know my shit. I'm great at content. I've got an audience. You're great at business. Let's talk. And so we went to formulation. And so here we are a year later. It took me a year to formulate Glow. I was so damn particular about it. I didn't want anything chalky or grainy. There's no artificial flavors, no sweeteners, no gums, no emulsifiers, no nothing. It's non-GMO. It's all natural. It's made in a good manufacturing product certified facility. Means that what's in here is in here. We're third-party tested. There's no heavy metals. It's even below Prop 65 in California. It mixes in just 6 to 7 ounces of water. So you could literally take, a water bottle, pour it into your shaker cup. I don't even use a screen or a shaker ball. You just shake that shit and it mixes up perfectly. And it's made only with stevia.
Love.
No aftertaste, no nothing.
Love.
It's fucking amazing. So we soft launched. We sold out twice in 3.5 weeks. It was crazy.
Wow.
We're working on a third sell. We moved 3,000 bottles on a soft launch in 7 weeks.
And where are we now with Glow? Considering,
God.
Yeah, because
good things are happening, honey.
Yeah.
Good things are happening. So not just the protein powder, because we have more flavors coming. We're doing cookies and cream and strawberry, and we're expanding. We're doing our affiliate program for Glow. By the way, if you want to be a part of it, just reach out and contact us. But we're going to crowdfunding. We've had a seed round open for Glow Foods, and that's the separate company that houses all my food stuff. We're seeking a first round amount, but we opted to go to crowdfunding because we want to hurry this along. And they really wanted proof of concept. The investors did, and that's why I made this protein powder. And now that we have proof of concept, we're going to go to WeFunder, it's like Kickstarter, but it's the new popular platform. And hopefully in about 2 weeks here, possibly 3 weeks, we're going to launch that Kickstarter. Oh, it's WeFunder, sorry, the crowdfunding, with the goal of 5 products coming to market next year.
5 products?
5 products. They're all disruptors in the consumer packaged goods industry. So these are, CPG is packaged and processed foods. Disruptors, top secret ingredients no one's ever used in the bar. The Glow Bar is coming first. And so that's what the crowdfunding is for. We're going to fund the Glow Bar. And then the other 4 products, which I'm not going to talk about yet.
Okay.
They'll come in 2026.
She got secrets, honey.
Yeah. And then once we rock the D2C industries, that's direct to consumer, that is like website, social media sales. We're going to take that information. I could probably already do it now with what we sold and go to Whole Foods and Target and Costco and basically hey guys, there's a pretty damn big demand for this. Let's get it in your store. So our goal is to bring the healthiest food possible to the world, rock the CPG industry, and basically expose what they're doing to everybody and with all their synthetic dyes and the flavors and why they're doing this crap, and present a product that is, of course, Gabbi approved, but it's truly healthy for us. And you can trust it. You can feed it to your kids. I give this to my daughter. I drink 2 or 3 shakes a day. And the bar is going to be even better.
Well, I think what's so great about all of that, the biggest thing, and we spoke about this earlier today, is, and I thought it was so ironic that a beautiful, might I add, gorgeous EMT saw you in a certain location today.
We were getting coffee today.
And
at a certain location.
Yeah. And a beautiful, EMT came up and said, I love your videos. And I thought, what a cool thing, because the big thing about what you're doing, Gabbi, so selflessly doing, is you're saving lives. You're saving lives. It's so cool because I think it goes full circle moment, like what we did when we started this whole podcast, is you're doing it with love and grace. And I think that's what's so special about Glow, is what you're doing is so selfless. You're helping everybody out.
Thank you.
By changing the game.
Well, it's always been my goal to help. My brother died in 2012, and I promised myself I'd never miss an opportunity to help anybody after that. I missed an opportunity to help him, and he committed suicide.
Oh.
But that's why I've been so dedicated to helping people. And I don't know how much everybody listening knows, but for my entire social media career, I've never had a sponsorship. I won't take it. I won't be paid by anybody. I'm not paid. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I cannot be bought. I don't take free stuff. You can't send me stuff. My reviews are right down the center. Yes, I'm running a business now. It's been 5 years on social media as me. And a decade plus before then, my social media started, before I was even in WWE, never taking money for anything. Yes, I'm running a business. But what we're doing is absolutely changing the world.
Changing the world. And what I love, and this is what you said in the very beginning of the episode 1,
right,
is that this is the behind the scenes. Gabbi, every time we're together and you talk about Glow and you talk about what you've received after you've gone live, and it's so cool because I get to be on your couch sometimes when you're just working. And I love hearing the things that people are saying to you on those lives because they're organically telling you, Gabbi, I love it. This is what it's done for me. I love hearing, women talk about, is this work for pregnancies? Things like this is so special because you are literally changing lives, which is your whole goal.
And I think that's not just my goal. I think it's your and my goal too. Like, it goes beyond the protein. It goes beyond Glow. This podcast was meant to change lives. It was meant to give people insight to the struggles that you as a human, Mickey, me as a human, Gabbi, like we go through, and to be relatable. So, cheers to you too, friend.
Honey, we've always said at some point or another, we would be the HGTV of the human person, the body. And we are so in love with helping people. You get to do, again, the guts.
Yes.
I love sitting at everyone in my makeup chair, whether it be a Chris Statlander or a Bianca Belair or my muse, Natalia Neidhart.
We love you, Natty.
Or listen, even a Randy Orton who's, been in my chair. Rest his soul, Bray Wyatt. I've had so many walks of lives in my chair. But what every single one of them say is thank you. And they say it because it's the conversation. It's how you make them feel. And, we have to walk out of our houses to go live, to go, we get into drag to go walk out and go live our lives, whether we're working at a bank or at a grocery store, or at a gym, or whatever.
That was a hard one for me. You're like, you get into drag. I'm like, wait a sec. Back the fucking hay truck up, dude. I'm not in drag. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's metaphorical
RuPaul says you're born naked and the rest is drag.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
Did you tell you hit a nerve with me? I'm like, I do not do fucking drag.
Yeah, it's all drag, because it's the idea of getting behind a label, like I'm wearing Palm Angels. It's
a cute shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
You are quite the fashionista.
Thank you.
And the orange puffer is hot too.
Thank you, Maxfield's Los Angeles.
Oh, shameless plug.
Yeah,
I love sponsoring
us.
Hi.
Maxfield is one of my favorite treats when I have worked hard for something. I don't even think you know this. I love fashion so much, as you know that. But I have a Maxfield's savings.
What is that?
So Maxfield's is my favorite designer clothing store.
Right, but what's the savings?
So I put money aside for Maxfield's.
Like
to go
this
and
is
splurge.
Like your Mad Money kind of jar, basically.
Yeah, like I have savings.
Stop.
I have like wildly these little things that I do. I have a savings account for my nieces and nephews. I put money aside for all those. I'm very strange like that.
Okay,
but I literally have a Maxfield's saving that I go because it's my feel good place. It's always and it's funny enough because I get to LA so often, but in a weird way, because it always organically happens that I end up in LA when something pivotal is going on. Like, for example, I was just there with Taya.
Okay.
Taya Valkyrie, honey, who is the pop star diva, honey,
we love
right
you,
now.
Kira. And John. We love John too.
Oh, Johnny. Johnny TV, honey. But Kira is running the game right now. She is not just the superstar wrestler that she is, but she is a pop diva. And I got
She is fucking awesome, man.
She's killing
that
it.
yellow hair. Talk about bold.
Jeremy
Love her.
and all of her team right now that are doing it's a labor of love, and honey, she is turning it out. But every time I go to LA, it's something special like that.
Okay.
I've never gone to LA where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go wipe my ass. Like, it's never just a free. It's always been, whether it's with you, something big we're doing.
I can't remember the last time I wiped my ass with LA.
I don't just go to LA to not do nothing. My fuck you, I'm a star.
Is that what that your middle? So Mickey's got a tattoo on his middle finger. It's a star. And so now he's flipping the bird to everybody that can't see this. So yeah, fuck you, I'm a star. I
got that when I received an award when I worked with L'Oreal and Urban Decay.
Oh.
I received an award for having my business in the top, whatever it was, top 5 of the L'Oreal, and we're talking globally. Cindy Harper, who is the president of L'Oreal, handed me my award, and then we proceeded to drink a lot and dance to the song "Happy" by Pharrell on a box. People were
love that song.
By the way, my boss Christopher Allgaier, if you're there, I love you watching. I just have to say, they were so mortified. I was so drunk that I took a 60-year-old woman and I was like, come on, girl, we can get up on the box. By the way, we're in the Sofitel in Beverly Hills, Rodeo, to paint the picture. And I'm like, come on, let's go on the box. I used to dance on the box back in the day. And she was like, in love with me. She
this is a 60-year-old woman, though.
Yes, the president of L'Oreal.
Okay. Was she fit? Was she?
Yeah, she's.
We don't want to talk about
this. Honey, she is the Anna Wintour of the beauty industry.
Oh, okay, so this is no big deal for her to get on a box.
I don't know if it was, but I didn't give a shit. I was like, we're gonna go dance, girl. And we were having the best time. She's like, I'll follow your lead. She trusted me. I get her up there. Everyone's like, Mickey. And when I tell you she was swinging that dress around and she got hot, she told someone to hold her jacket, honey. We had the best time. But after that, I remember getting so emotional. And I told my coworkers, I was like, I can't believe what I did, but I don't give a fuck because I earned it. And I made such a, moment in my life. But LA.
So, wait. Were you, so you got emotional. Were you worried about being fired because you did something weird?
I realized what I had done. I made it. I made it. And
that's what it is.
And I didn't just make it. The president of the company handed me my award. And when she handed me my award, she was so kind and she was so like, thank you. Like, she actually meant it. Like, she knew that I worked hard. I mean, and I had the southeast of the United States. So, like, to paint that picture, Florida, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Georgia. And then you're talking Atlanta. You're talking about those big cities, Miami, Orlando, Tampa. I brought that market defeated New York City, California. Like, I built that market.
Wow.
And received an award for doing it. And she was so grateful for what I had done. And I remember I felt it. And I'm like, I got a pretty good eye on feeling like bullshit or not. Like, oh, here's this award. Thank you for doing. No. She grabbed my hand the way she did it. And she was like, thank you. Like, what? Because this Urban Decay had just kind of like merged with them in that time. It was a big deal for Urban because they were the blueprint in the beauty industry. They were doing everything against what everyone was doing. And to have acquired Urban Decay, it was such a big deal as it was.
I was going to say, yeah, I remember when Urban Decay hit the market. It was like everybody was using it. I had that setting spray. Like,
oh, girl, I just, that was such a pivotal time. But, long story short, LA has always I've never gone without something just huge happening. And so Maxfield, I remember growing up. And, these celebs would shop at these stores on Robertson. And, like, you would watch A Simple Life and where Nicole and Paris were going.
I watched that every fucking night growing up. I watched Paris and Nicole every night. And I was like, it's like you think it's real when you're a kid, too. You just got sucked in. I'm like, how is this happening?
Yes. And Maxfield was the spot. It was like the spot. So for me, I put money aside because I know there's going to be a moment where I'm going to be in LA.
Not wiping your ass.
Not wiping my ass. And I'm going to go into Maxfield's because I'm going to treat myself because I earned it.
Okay.
And it was always that thing for me. And, I'm in this new journey in my life, which you'll hear in other episodes, but like I understand treasures and all those things and collecting things on earth and whatever.
Sure.
This is what fucking makes me happy.
Okay.
And yeah, this little Palm Angels was both of these were a Maxfield's purchase.
A little find.
And
Okay.
episode 1, I figured, why not bring out the Maxfields?
Okay. Well, I like that. You were talking about, your past and all these good things, and it just kind of made me think, just kind of on like a random topic, because we're talking about our history and, I don't even want to call. I hate saying the word transition. I just don't like. I don't like flaunting that or bragging about it. But short version. When was the first dick you sucked?
Wow!
I just jumped in right on that. Mickey's like, hang on a second, honey. Wait, what?
Wow.
Do you remember the first?
I will be really honest with you. I was a rebel growing up as a child.
Oh.
But I'm going to be very honest with you. I respect my parents so much. My mom and dad are fucking cool.
Okay.
I'm very blessed to have such a wonderful set of parents that just did everything they could to spoil me rotten. They did. And I was an asshole. I was such a rebel.
I can't picture that at all.
Maybe not like what I think like any parent now, like as I see like my nieces and nephews grow up, back talk, you're cooler than them. They don't know what's going on, blah, blah. And so because of that, I didn't experience any of that until I was 18.
Oh my God. You just knew.
Yeah. I mean, I fondled around with things, never a guy, always females, by the way, up until I was 18.
Goodness.
I wanted to, I'm not that, what do they call it? There's like a nickname the gays use, like if you don't mess with a girl, you're a golden pass or whatever.
You're what? A golden?
Like, I don't know. Oh my God, I'm fucking it up. I don't know.
You're a horrible gay.
Yeah, I've heard it my whole life. I forget what it's called. It's like if you don't screw around with a girl, you get like a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory into the asshole. I don't know.
Shut the front door.
I don't know, but anyways, my point was I did not get that. I enjoyed being with women until I sucked a dick. It's
kind of my experience too. I was like, oh, this is way more fun.
Yeah. So I will say 18 because my parents didn't really, I didn't have a coming out. They pulled me out.
Oh, yeah. No dick bar mitzvah where you jumped over the big
my
black
parents didn't care. They were like celebrating it. I have brought boyfriends into the house later. Of course, I didn't live there, but I did bring them back to introduce them to my parents and hang out. And so, yeah. And also, my boyfriends always loved my mom and dad. There was never that. My mom and dad they're that motherfucking cool. And so yeah, my parents I think when that time came and I was like, oh, well, that was easy. Now what do I do now? I didn't have this whole coming out thing that the Hollywood media made such a big thing about. So I'm like, what next? And so I'm like, drugs, So as soon as I indulged in like parties, I think that's when the dick sucking came.
I was like, let's do a little Molly. Let's take a little dick.
Yeah.
Let's drink a little alcohol. Let's take a little dick.
Yeah. And I always with girls. There was always, I won't name names, but they know who they are.
Shots fired.
Yeah. And they were the ones that were like, no, you're going in the room with him.
Oh.
And I was like, oh. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
And then I remember one gentleman, and I will say his name because he was so kind to me.
Name dropper.
His name is Mike. He was like kind of my first for everything.
Oh.
He's still around.
Oh.
He's got a wonderful husband.
Oh,
his sister is one of my buddies, Michelle.
Oh.
I'm not going to say their last names, but he knows.
You know who you are.
He knows who he is.
We've said enough. You know exactly who you are at this moment.
Mike has a beautiful set of everything.
Oh.
And he was so generous and so kind.
So generous. Let me bring this microphone closer.
Yeah.
So generous.
Yeah. So, and it was in my best friend Stephanie's bed. I felt so bad because
did you at least wash her sheets?
Nope.
spunk everywhere.
And I remember my friend Eileen and Karen and Carrie were all downstairs. She had a 2-story house. He got so frustrated because he was trying so hard to really get down. And I was like, dude, I don't know if this is happening the way you wanted it to happen. He was topping, I was bottoming.
Oh.
And then he's like, oh, I guess this is new for you. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I guess you're fucking me. And I go, I mean, I guess. And then it happened. I was like, oh, this feels great.
Oh, I like this.
So yeah, and so my first everything was with him, and then to this day, Gabbi, as we've spoke about, I can't just hook up with people.
No.
My hookups turn into these long-term things, and that happened.
He was like the long-term first?
He was literally my first any gay experience, and he just was like, wow, I really dug this guy. And his mother, a doll, a gem, kind of took me in because
even more of a connection.
I had a job. He had no job. He was such a bad boy. And he was my Tommy Lee, my first rock and roll. He was my rebel, which was so attractive to me.
I wanted to say something so bad.
Oh, say it.
Did he beat the piss out of you?
Sexually?
Oh, well, there you go. We could joke about it. It's been, 20 years? I don't know.
Physically, he was not good for me. He didn't put his hands on me and like that, but mentally, I wasn't prepared for a relationship, and I got suckered in because I had a job. He did not. His mom saw that I could probably piece him together, which was so hard on me.
For anybody out there, I like a good choking. So if you want to know why my voice is fucked up, too many big hands on my throat. They're not my own.
Enough about my gay ass. I want to know, actually, because when did your first thing happen?
How did I know this was coming?
Coming, no pun intended.
I can't remember if we talked about this on any of our episodes. I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
Nah. So, Priscilla and I were married, and this is early in my transition. I was not originally attracted to men, ever. I had no intent on being attracted to men. I thought I would love, I just remained myself, like my own sexual orientation. I'd always been straight my whole life. And the thought of being with a dude, when I was a man, it just made me gag. I thought of getting down with a guy. I'm like, it's just hard, gag. And you're talking from a wrestler who wrestles with dudes every day. And just we get all up in our in the shit when you're in the ring. You get in each other's junk because you got to schoolboy him for a penis. They're like, fuck, get your junk out of my face, bro. And I never thought twice about it. And if someone I don't know. Short version is, I remember I was in the gym and I made eye contact with some guy who was obviously gay. And there was a moment when my heart kind of sank. I'm all, oh, what was that? That was really weird. And he kind of felt it too. I could see, kind of looked away real quick and kind of looked back. I'm all, what the fuck? Oh, yeah. And I didn't tell Priscilla for something like a week because we talked about everything. We had kind of loosed ourselves. We had an agreement, if you do something, just do it outside the house. Don't bring it back to them. Yeah, because we knew shit was falling apart. Our marriage was rocky. And I think that, the transition was the nail in the coffin. It was the catalyst for us to really just get divorced. We had other problems in our divorce. That was not the transition. Or other problems in our marriage. That was not the transition. But the transition was a great, okay, now we can separate. So, and who knows, maybe that's the reason I did. Maybe it was a trauma response. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I remember I was hanging out with another trans girl. Her name was Jocelyn. And we were at this place called The Grove. And it was my little hangout in Cedar Park. And I just was sitting in the bar with her. I was like a little barfly at the time. And I said, girl, I just need to fuck a guy and get it over with. She's like, well, get on Grindr. And I was looking at her, I'm like, what the fuck is Grindr? And she's like, it's an app. It's a gay hookup app and trans app. I'm like, I've never been on a date. And remember, I've been married. Priscilla and I met when she was 16. Our first date was when she was 18. So we were friends for 2 years. We got married right after college. So, we've been together since she was 16 years old. I had never been on a dating app. I don't know how this shit works. And I told her, I'm like, look, the whole world believes that we're still married. I'm a public figure. They would never understand our current relationship. And she goes, just download it real quick. I'm like, well, I can't put a profile picture on there. And she goes, okay, well, don't worry about it. I go, okay. And so we made an account and I go, well, what do I do? She goes, here, give it to me. And so she just starts messaging. She's like, okay, here's this guy. She goes, he wants to fuck you. I'm like, what? And she goes, I fucked him before. He's got a big dick. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, you fucked him? She's like, yeah, he likes trans girls and he's hot and he's safe. And I go, okay. So I let her do all the messages. She's like, okay, he wants to see you in like 2 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is how it works. She's like, yeah, I'm like, there's no profile picture. He's never seen a picture of me. And she goes, he wants a picture of you. And I said, well, send him one from like here down, like neck down. And so she did. And he goes, okay, let's absolutely do this. So I go home, I get showered. I'm like, so what do I do? She's like, you need to clean out. I'm like, okay. So, we go get a bulb and like the douche bulb. I'm like, okay. And I like stick this fucking thing on my ass and I figure out how to clean out. And I'm just like, till the water runs clean. I'm like, all right, what are we doing here? And Priscilla's there the whole time. And they're both like, okay, have a good time. Like, bye.
Oh.
Jocelyn hung out with Priscilla for a while. They waved me off. I went to his place. And I remember I opened the door, or I knocked on the door, he opened the door, and he was very handsome. He was my height, like shaved head, beautiful blue eyes, like just total gym bro. I was like, whoa, God. He was hot. And he just opened the door. He's like, oh, come on in. And I looked at him like, you're all hot. And he's like, so are you. And he just walks to the back bedroom.
Honey, get it down.
And I like closed the door behind me. I was like, do you want a water? I'm like, no, I'm okay. And I don't know what's going on, right? And he sits on like a chair outside his bed, and he goes, here, you can sit there. I'm like, I sit on the bed, and he just starts taking off his shoes. I'm like, oh, okay, is that what we're doing? And I could reach out, start taking off my heels, and I just kind of stop. I'm like, look, dude, I don't know how to say this, and because my girlfriend told me not to tell you this, but I've never been with a guy before. And he looks, he's like, wait, what? I'm like, I've never been with a guy before. He's like never. I'm like, I've never kissed a guy. I've never done anything. And he goes, oh my God. And he goes, well, you were honest with me. I'm going to be honest with you. And he goes, I've never been with a trans woman. Oh, no, he said, I've only been with one other trans woman before. And Jocelyn, and at that moment, because Jocelyn had told me she'd fucked him like numerous times, and she knows he's like a tranny chaser, basically, like he loves trans girls. And I'm like, oh, you're lying to me. Okay, that's how this works. Cool. I get it. No problem. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You're hot. I don't care. And so,
fuck it.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck it. Let's go. And so I look at him and I'm like, I don't even know your name. And he goes, do you want to know? And I just looked and I go, nope, I don't.
Nope.
And I just took my shirt off. I'm like, let's fucking do this.
Let's go.
And so like he came over, like he put himself on the bed, and then I got on top of him and just down I went. I'm like, I've never done this before, so you got to tell me how I'm doing. He's like, you're doing just fine. He's like, you just keep going, honey. I'm like, oh, this is easy. I'm like, I got this.
Wow. And that was it.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. And so we got to, I mean, that experience was wild because we get to a point where, we're just messing around and doing all sorts of stuff. And I didn't let him fuck me because I was too worried I was going to paint all over him. I just was not, I'm like, did I get all the water out? I'm like, I don't want to shit on this guy. I'm like, I can't do this. And so I avoided it like the fucking plague. But at one point, he like, I was like sucking his dick, and he's like, he goes, my ex-girlfriend, she used to force me to put on stockings. And I just was like, whoa, what?
Wait, while you were blowing him, he talks about stockings?
And I'm just like, bro, what? And I was like on my knees on the side of the bed, and I like reached up with my hand on his stomach, and I tapped his stomach, and I was like, be careful. That's how I started. And he's like, no, it's not like that. I'm like, shit, dude, no, I'm going to be giving you doses for estrogen. You just watch, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
So anyway, like, yeah, so he finished. He did terrible things to my boobs, and yeah.
Wow.
And me and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, we did fun stuff. And that was my first experience. And then, yep, I had brand new titties, and I was like, you can just finish on this.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I was like, cool, give me a wash rag, bud. Let me wipe this shit off real quick. But the craziest part is when it's all done. And I think I told the story on Bunny's podcast, but the craziest part of this is like, we're done. He gets up and like nicely hands me a wash rag, and I kind of towel off, and I'm like, okay, this the cuddle moment, or like what happens? And then he just starts throwing his clothes back on. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that too. I'm just like, one in Rome.
Follow the lead.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Fuck it.
And then he just goes and sits on the couch. I'm like putting on my stuff, and I walk out. I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, thanks. And he's just like, I sit there and I was trying to put on my last shoe. And I sat kind of like where you're sitting. He's got the couch and he's watching TV and he's just, staring and just like mouth breathing as he's watching TV. And I go, all right.
No.
Cool.
What?
And he's like, huh, what? And he just spaced out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to head out. He's like, yeah, okay. He's like, we should do this again. And he's just like, right. And he's just back to watching TV. I'm like, yo, this is the dating world? I'm all, this fucking blow? I'm like, that's it? Like, we come, we do our thing, and that's it. Like, you don't even know. I'm just a fuck toy to you.
Right.
And that was my entire first year of, like, men. I was a fuck toy to them.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were on the down low, too. Like,
well, they were
on their
your
wives,
fuck toy as
like,
well. I guess.
they were my, like, learning curve.
Yeah.
I have fuck toys now.
I am so glad. Yes, you do.
And
honey.
I know exactly what to do to wrap them around my finger. Like, it's much different now. Like, I am not that same girl because I was very timid. I'm like, I don't know. I was scared to walk outside the house most of my, for several years of my transition. And now I'm like, I don't give it to you fucks. Like, I know who I am. And yes, you can be my pinky ring.
But you know what, Gabby? That's. I mean, it's kind of funny because that's where I was just recently. And we have spoke about this in other episodes. Like, I was on those apps. It became a rhythm to my life, like being on the dating apps. And I realized, just so you know, like, I only hooked up once.
On a dating app?
On those, since my ex and I.
Oh, since you guys separated?
I had only because I realized the same story you just said with the TV and all that. I felt that over the app, over the conversation.
Oh, it's just like, okay, thanks for the quick ejaculation. We're out of here.
Yeah, so it was that
no
before,
connection.
Yeah, before I even got to get to them to have that moment. The conversation was. It was so hostile. It was so gross.
Oh, like on Grindr and just making
sniffies, all of it.
We were talking about like the entitlement of fucking men.
Yeah.
Like in these apps where they start off, they send you a fucking picture or something, you start talking, and then you're like, I'm actually not interested. Like, that's what you told me. The guy was like, you know what this app is for, right? And they're just entitled. Like, no, you cannot. I'm not going to do stuff with you because you just randomly decided to make a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Like, we're the same. We need the connection.
And that's what I was going to say. And I can only imagine because this was so new for you then, like connecting with you now. Like back then I could empathize with you, but now that I'm where I'm at and hearing this story and knowing your heart, knowing who you are, I could not imagine how you felt.
Oh, I felt like a piece of fucking meat.
How was that drive home? Did you call them to be like, it's over or like?
No,
what?
I was stunned. The deer in the headlights looked the whole ride home. I'm just going, what just happened? Like, what just, and I've told other stories. Again, I told a lot of these on Bunny's podcast.
Yes,
so I don't want to like
did.
regurgitate them, but it's just like, I had guys like just, I was their slap around girl. And I was like, I want this experience. It's like, I got slapped around. I'm like, okay, that's hot for a day, but I wouldn't do it again. And I got called all sorts of fucking like, you fucking slut and you cunt. And like all these like, you're a dirty bitch. I'm going to rub your face in the fucking sewage. I'm like, all right. And then he spits on my asshole. I'm like, okay, well, this is a thing. This is some guy's kinks. Cool. It's not really mine. I'm like, it was fun for a moment. I'm like, okay. It just was like, I hyper experienced everything very quickly. And I'm like, I found out very fast what I want, what I don't want. And I've ended up, I've had two romps in a year. That's how celibate I've been. I've had 2 romps in a year. And the romp I had 6 months ago was terrible. And it reminded me of why I don't do it. So it's just, I need the emotional connection. And I think I'm just so self-conscious about a lot of the things about me.
Yeah.
My physical body. And I talk about this in a couple of our next episodes. We'll get into that. So I don't want to spoil it. But I don't date because I think I'm a little self-conscious about myself. But I'm also hyper fucking focused on my goals. And my daughter. I'd hate to bring her into this after we're talking about this, but it's true. Like, I had those experiences and now I want to provide the most amazing, I've always wanted to, but I have the ability now to provide her with the most amazing life. I'm like, where does a guy fit in? Nowhere. I'm like, I can't imagine having a dude, in my bedroom while she's upstairs. I'm like, this is fucking wrong on 10,000 different levels, Right. It's one thing when, married parents do it. And like, I'm a single parent and I'm a trans woman. I'm like, I cannot be setting a good example, so I just don't do it.
Yeah, I'm grateful for so many reasons. With as you say this, I have to just say, as we spiral into the end of this beautiful new chapter of our lives with Glam and Guts. I'm grateful for this journey because the world is changing.
Yeah.
The world as we know it is changing. I'm so grateful for this journey, this walk of life, for what we're doing, because we're about to change lives. We're about to, and we don't have time for that kind of bullshit anymore.
Right.
And it's great. I've cleared out of the apps and all of that. I've had, and we'll talk about that in other episodes. But Gabbi, I'm grateful for this journey we're going to have. And
same. It's about gratefulness. It really is.
It's exciting.
It is very exciting. And so let's leave on this high note. We've talked about everything from A to Z so far. I think we've given everybody a great example and idea of what's to come in the future episodes. No pun intended.
Buckle up, baby, because we're going to offend some people. We're going to make people laugh their asses off. We're going to make people cry.
We're going to spill all the tea. So be grateful, live in some grace and some love. And until the next episode of Glam and Guts, we will see you next time.